Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome to the West Ham world. The Premier League is back, thank God. I hate the international break. You just sit there nervous whether one of your players are going to get injured, which obviously happened to us. And you just, when you start getting into a bit of a rhythm, I know we played Manchester City and we lost the last time we played. But after, the Bournemouth game getting the result, the Crystal Palace game getting the result, you start believing, you're starting to see little bits of positivity in the team, and you just want it to continue and continue. He would have had a lot of time on the training ground with some of the players. Obviously, a few were away. Some of the big boys were away. But there was a lot of players that were still around the training ground for the last 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to this one. It's a bit of a game that we need to get revenge after last year. Last year was two of those games with some of the most horrific performances I've seen as a West Ham fan ever. The 5-0 away last year was awful. Really, really awful performance. And then obviously 2-0 at the London Stadium. Just not pretty sight at all. I love the 3 o'clock kickoffs, so that's another good thing. Back to the 3 o'clock kickoff. It is Fulham. Fulham lost Polina, player that we were linked with heavily under David Moyes. He did finally make his move. They brought in Sander Berge. He's a good player. I like him. And some of the transfers they have brought in have been, some clever signings. Reece Nelson's a decent little signing for them. A player that I would have liked to have seen at West Ham, Emile Smith-Rowe, who scored on his debut. Wouldn't surprise me if he scores again at the weekend. He's a good little player. But obviously, the main problem for him was injuries and, just getting time to play. Arsenal fans I know and work with were gutted that they lost him. So really, really good signing for them. In the league, they lost to United 1-0 in their first game, beat the next game, they won in the next game, and then a 1-1 draw against Ipswich is the last game they played before the international break. They usually play a 4-2-3-1 formation with Leno in goal. Tete Issa Diop has been playing recently, Bassi and Robertson at left back, midfielder Pereira and Lukic. Old nemesis of West Ham, Adama Traore, Emile Smith-Rowe, Iwobi, who was excellent in the game against us last year, and Muniz, the man who scored 10 goals in all competitions for them last year. Their strengths are attacking down the wings and aerial duels. Weaknesses are finishing, defending long shots and defending set pieces. Their style of play is loads of crosses, attacking down the right wing, no surprise with Traore. They're very aggressive and play the high line. Like I say, need some revenge for last season. So bad. So bad. I like Fulham though. They finished 13th last year. I say they're a decent little side. They remind me of sort of West Ham of old. The early Upton Park days in the Premier League, where we'd have the Steve Lomasses and people like that, where we were never flirting right up the top, but we had, we were quite entertaining to watch, and we did the best of the facilities that we had and best of the money that we had. Looking at us guys, obviously the Fulkrug injury, apparently it's not a rupture, so that's some good news, but he will be out possibly for about 2 to 3 weeks from what I'm reading. Obviously Antonio played last night, and when I say last night, it's about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, which means his flight was probably now, sort of as I'm talking now, which means, probably have a bit of jet lag, maybe won't be able to start the game because of that. Bowen had a couple of good cameos for England, which was good to see. It's, the lineup we all want to see, and a few changes that will be needed because of Fulkrug. Obviously Soler has come in as well since then. Should be, depending on what's happening with Areola, maybe Fabianski will start this game. I'm not sure about the Areola injury. Obviously, without the press conference, which will be tomorrow, we'll know a bit more about that. Wan-Bissaka has to start right back. He's been our best player, the last couple of games. Kilman picks himself. Probably Mavropanos will start this game, depending on where they see the fitness of Tobido. Emerson obviously picks himself at the left back position. I'd like to see the midfielder Rodriguez and Alvarez again. I was really impressed with them two together. Who's up front? For me personally, I would play Jared Bowen up front. Kudus on the right-hand side so he can cut in on the left. Paquetá in the 10 and Jimmy on the left. Crescencio Somerville on the left. I don't know what you guys think. Will Soucek play? Will Soler play? I think we'll see Soler come on at some point. But this is a man, the money he's on, you would expect him to be playing games whenever he's fit. If he does, he comes with this really good reputation. He's supposed to be a top player. So yeah, it's interesting. It's good problems to have, though. Like I say, he can put Antonio up front. He could put Bowen up front. He could make it very fluid with, Kudus going in up front, and then Bowen comes out, or Paquetá goes up front, and then this one, which I like to see. It makes it harder for the opposition to mark. Can we beat them? Yes. We need to be a bit more clinical. Bowen hasn't really been in games, but when he has had his chance, he has been clinical and finished his chances. So hopefully, he carries on, keeps scoring goals. Kudus needs to get his first goal as well, just to get that little weight off his shoulders. Get his first goal of the season, get going for the season. I think you see that smile on his face. If he can play on the right hand side, cut in, get one of his goals that we know he can get. I'm expecting a good game. It's going to be a tough game because they are a decent little side, and obviously they'll be high confidence because of the games last season. But yeah, I think we can do it. I think we can probably come away with a 2-1 win. Until next time, guys, subscribe to the West Ham World TikTok page, everything. Like and subscribe. Come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.